I know you don't need telling that I love my Harley Benton guitars. However, there is one Harley Benton that should be my favourite, other than the fact that I don't like the Roswell HAF pickup in it. Today we're going to sort out that issue by changing out the pickups in my SC550 for a set of Sheptone tributes coming right up. The tribute set uses rough finished Alnico 5 degaussed magnets using 5758 spec 42 enamel. Resistance varies from set to set since the winding process goes strictly by the number of turns of wire, but the values are around 8K for the bridge and 7.6 for the neck. Tributes come standard with Gibson patent applied for 49.2mm pole spacing. Sheptone say that these pickups produce the same beautiful sound as original patent applied for PUPs pickups at a fraction of the price. When in doubt, the tribute set is the best choice for all-round PAF sound, and that's why I am installing them in the SC550. Will it sound like a Gibson when we're done? Well, you'll have to wait until the end of the video to find that out. Before we get into the work I've done to swap in these classics, I should mention that the video is time-stamped, so you can skip around and jump to the bits that you want to see. This video also has an Easter egg in here somewhere, and if you can find it and crack the egg, then there are good things coming to you. However, you have to be a subscriber to my channel and like this video, so if you haven't done either yet, please do it now. Right, let's check out the install. Okay, so we're just about ready to change out the pickups on this Harley Benton. And what do we need? Well, we need a few tools, that's for sure. And what I've got here is simply, we've got the Sheptone pickups that we're going to change it out for. I've got a soldering iron and some solder, some clippers in case we need to cut or strip the cable, a standard Phillips head screwdriver to get all of the back plate and the like off, and also a bit of a little stripping knife in case we need to strip any plastic. I've also got some note paper and pen to make a note of where the pickup selections and bits and pieces are. And also, if you're myopic like me, you might need glasses for close-in work. Okay, so first and foremost, let us get rid of some of this stuff just out of the way a little bit, because we won't need some of it for a while. Now, why have I got the 42 gear street towel, you may ask? Well, the answer to that is a very simple answer, and that is because I don't have a guitar rest. And so it's very simple to make yourself a little guitar rest by taking this and rolling it up. In fact, let's roll it the other way so that I don't spoil my lovely 42 gear street towel. And then you can use that just to lift the headstock of the guitar clear of the surface you're working on. So first things first, what I'm going to do to make this a really fair test is I'm going to keep the exact same set of strings on it. So the first thing I'm going to do is take the existing strings off. Okay, with all the strings taken off, we can take off the bridge and we can set this aside until we're ready for it later, with the strings still in it, which makes it a lot easier. So the next job is to get the existing pickups out, and the first thing I'm going to do is turn this over, support it a little closer to the body, and I'm going to open up the back plate. There we go. They're the little style pots on this, as you can see, the tiny little pots. And we've got a few little cable ties in here as well, which we're going to need to take off. They're just tidying up this body cavity somewhat. We'll save them as well, and just loosen up these wires just enough to give us, okay, there we go. Right, at this stage we'll flip the guitar back over and loosen off the pickup surrounds. Okay, now we've got the pickup surrounds loosened off, we can now have a look at the pickups. There we go, and that's the Roswell pickups. Okay, so what we need to do next is work out which pickup is connected to which pot. Now we know that this bridge pickup will be connected to this, and that the neck pickup will be connected here. So we very carefully turn it over. Okay, once we've got a note of that, we can then remove this pickup. Okay, so we've now freed both of the pickup wires and we can now pull them back out. But what I like to do to make my life a little bit easier in bringing the new pickups out is to connect a little piece of string to each, so that we can then pull back the new pickup wires really easily. This is particularly useful if you are changing the switch, because sometimes that can be really fiddly to get through. So we'll do that now. Let's turn the guitar over and we'll get the existing pickups out. And there we go, with the existing pickups removed. We then just need to get rid of the guitar for a moment. And what we need to do is we need to get our new pickups out and put the surrounds in the old ones. So here we go, we've got the neck pickup and we've got the bridge pickup. This is always the fiddliest bit, getting the spring screws back in. Make sure you get them the right way around. The slugs should go outwards, so these should be nearest the bridge, they should be nearest the neck. There we are. So that's the Roswells out, and we'll just pop the Roswells back in the Sheptone box, just in case we ever want to use them again. Okay, I like to then put the pickups back in. Okay, and there they are. The new pickups are in the guitar. We just now need to wire them up. But before we actually wire these up, I'm going to take these plastic bits off the pickups, which is very satisfying. And B, I'm going to give the guitar a bit of a polish just to get into it while I can, because it's not often that you have the strings off a guitar, so it's worth giving it a polish. Okay, the next job is to turn the guitar over and get these new pickups tinned. So we want to tin the ends and the connections on the new connections. Sometimes it's tricky getting enough of this braid stripped back to create a nice grounding wire, because these pickups basically have one wire going through the middle, and then the braided wire on the outside is the ground connection. So get that off and twist it. And then we want to tin both of these. I realised that the live central wire on these are already tinned, so we didn't actually need to tin that. But we do have to be really careful about keeping these braided wires away from any other part of the pot other than the earth or the ground wire, because these can easily short out. So we'll do a little bit of cable management once we're done. Okay, and there are our two pots wired back in. Now we're just going to do a little bit of similar cable management to what was in there before. I'm going to twist these back on themselves and twist a few of these bits together so that we don't end up with anything touching the live. There we are, job done. So we've now connected in the two new pickups, and we will now put the guitar back together again. And there we have it. That is the pickup change. Now all I need to do is just adjust the height, taste, and the best way to do that is to tune up the guitar and set the levels so that your clean sounds clean. And we'll get on with that, and then we will come back and listen to what these lovely Sheptone pickups sound like in this guitar. Okay, I hope you found that really useful. See you in a second. That was a relatively easy process, as the Sheptones come with their hot wire pre-tinned, although it was a little bit tricky to solder to those tiny little Harley Benton pots, but we got there. My soldering can't be too bad, as it worked first time. In case you didn't notice, the Sheptones are 2-wire PUPs, meaning that they only work as humbuckers, whereas the Roswells I took out are 4-wire PUPs, meaning that they could be coil split. I find it strange that the SC550 doesn't have a coil split function like its cheaper little sister, the SC450. Anyhow, those Roswell pickups might come in handy in a future project. Now I know that they can be split. Okay, enough about that. I know you'll want to hear the new pickups and the difference between the Roswells and the Sheptones. So let's start with, of course, the clean tones, which are the Axe Effects Deluxe Verb Fender style tones. I'm not sure how well as ever this will have translated through the compression added by YouTube, but to me it's very evident that the Sheptones have a much wider tonal range, and the top end sparkle and bottom end are both much better, making the Roswell sound very muddy by comparison. Let's see if that carries through into the crunch tones, which were the Axe Effects AC15 tones. Again, to my ears, the Sheptones leave the Roswells way behind in terms of fullness and especially clarity at the top end. The mid remains punchy and classic sounding. Finally, we get to the lead tones, and here I use my favourite Robert Baker lead tone on the Axe effects. Wow, even the Roswells sustained so well on the Baker tones, but the Sheptones would go on for days if I let them. I'm really enjoying the classic PUF tones that these pickups produce. But who cares what I think? It's what you think that counts, so please be sure to let me have your thoughts in the comments section below, as I rely on you guys to do the review down there. I just do the demo. Speaking of demos, I'm sure that I will now use this guitar much more on upcoming videos. If you'd like to see them, please make sure that you're subscribed and have clicked the bell icon, and that way you'll never miss a future video. I release every Tuesday, Friday and stream live on Sundays too. I hope to see you there. But for now, don't forget to like and share this video. As always, you take good care.